Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today we're actually doing a brand new VOD review for Bobby. Bobby is a Gold 5 PC EU Mercy, and they've also said they've kept struggling this game to try and keep up with the Genji and dying due to poor positioning. So we're going to look today at their positioning, but also kind of how they've been keeping up with this Genji. Now already, you saying that you want to keep up with this Genji is already kind of giving me a little bit of oh, because you have yourselves an Echo. In my kind of tier list of people, I say Echo is probably the second best DPS to damage boost. The reason is she's second, Pharah is on top because I feel Pharah very much really depends on having a Mercy with them. With Genji, I would actually put Genji at an A tier. The reason is because, which you've just said, struggling to keep up with him. It's one of the biggest things that you're going to struggle doing, especially if he goes really aggressive into a team. It can be really, really hard to try and keep up with him. So at some point, you just have to let him do his thing and wait for him to come out to you, or wait for a better opportunity to go in. As we were at the start, but Genji kept outperforming it. Really great that you've changed your beams. I hope I'm probably gonna end up seeing that in a second. But yeah, we have ourselves actually the World Cup Mercy skin. This is probably one of the first times I've actually seen someone use this for a VOD, which is really nice. I really love this skin. I feel as though I don't see enough people using it. I think it's really, really cute. And we have ourselves a cute little health potion as well, which is really, really cute. Once again, you can get your own VOD views. You go for 5,000 channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays too, of my own kind of just gameplay where you guys can build up the channel points. You're more than welcome to come and lurk, but also you can come and say hello to my absolutely lovely community we have over there. So I'm just gonna get straight into the VOD for you guys, and we'll kind of just see how Bobby does. So, ends up getting headshot already, straight off the bat. Really, really great. You're doing the absolute right thing here of what's it called? Really nice cancel, obviously staying out of the way, really, really nice. Okay, whenever someone gets slept, do not put your beam on them, okay? This is already really great though, obviously playing with your Sigma. My only thing I would kind of tweak with that is just keep the blue beam on him. He has 400 HP to Sigma, and he also has this Life Weaver to help him out. You also have to realize as well your Echo's already died. So essentially he doesn't really have very many people to focus healing on and stuff like that. So you can very much just heal your Sigma. So you can just stick the damage boost on. Love how you GA yourself in and they cancel it to get your beam onto the Genji. Really, really nice use of your movements and stuff like that. Whenever someone gets slept, however, you will not be able to do anything for them, okay? Until they've reawoken. So you essentially just, once again, you want to just kind of keep your beam onto the Sigma, and I'd back out a little bit, a little bit more, just so around here while he's slept. Because what's going to happen is normally when someone gets slept, everyone's oh, because this person's sleeping, and everyone will just focus on this one key target. This gives you a perfect distraction for you to be able to rotate, and then if it does mean that they end up kind of missing shots, so they don't end up, getting stuff, then obviously you can put the beam on and stuff like that. Anyways, so we'll keep on going. Because sadly, the Genjis end up falling. Nice rotation. Obviously going to go help Life Weaver. Nice damage onto Sigma again. Nice rotation. Nice. And my other thing is just try and check where your Life Weaver is. Life Weaver might actually be able to provide you with a lot more better movement away from him. The main thing that I like to do, because you do actually really need to kind of move from this high ground. The reason is because you're very kind of safe. And what's going to happen is the Winston will want to kind of dive onto you. In which case, you essentially want to... With Winstons and Divas and stuff like that, you essentially just want to bait their dives. This happens a lot with Divas, this happens a lot with Winston. You essentially want to make them use their movement first before you use yours. Because then it gives you options to move away, alright? So just kind of wait for that Winston to try and dive you first before you use your movement. But apart from that... Nice damage boost. Obviously, we see the Echoes come back. Really nice going around to damage boost. Love how you just wait down here. This is really nice. You don't need to fling yourself forward up to here, by the way. The reason why I'm being really picky with this is because they have 2 hit scans that can very much, get to you, really easily. So I would literally just stay on these stairs and just damage boost your Echo. There's no use to kind of fling yourself forward into the LOS like you did. But other than that, alright. Nice rotation round. I wouldn't rotate here though. I would have literally just rotated over to this kind of canister over here. The reason why I'm being so picky with this is because it's just, I hate Joker Town. I'm gonna be really honest, because it's so open with what the hit scans and stuff like that. So you have to be really, really cautious with how you're moving. So I would have literally just GA'd to be around here, because then it makes your Winston make a decision. It makes your Winston make a decision of, do I dive the Life Weaver or do I dive the Mercy? In which case, both of you have obviously like, movement abilities to try and like, you know, help. But if he dives both of you like he's basically doing now, if you guys get too close to each other, he will do damage on both of you, and this isn't great for either of you. Whereas if you're playing over here, it allows you to, you know, still help your Echo and stuff, but then also can still help your Life Weaver whilst also staying out of the way of that Wisdom damage. The also reason why I don't like this rotation, which I didn't end up saying when it happened, but I'm going to say it anyways, if you rotate round here, if a hit scan, like for example this Hanzo was like standing a little bit more like further forward onto this like high ground like this, he can shoot you really, really easily because you're making this rotation across without like any cover. It's just better if you just basically stay back here and just play here because it doesn't doesn't put you around. Try to go the health pack in case I need it. Don't like you don't like need to be like next to it like all the time, but especially when you're like really like high HP. Like if you're losing like a bit more HP than like what you're doing, then I would be maybe position yourself more for the health pack. But if you don't need that health pack, you can just play like safe, play around here. Plus you have your Life Weaver as well, like still available and stuff. And I'm hoping you can like hoping your Life Weaver's good, you can just trust him. Lovely peel for him though, which is really, really great. Love how you go to your Echo as well as soon as he's okay. We do end up GAing into him though, alright? I just want to quickly rewind this so we can just quickly go over it. So, sorry, I could only rewind as well in 20 seconds because I'm on console. So we obviously talked all the way about this. We talked about this rotation. See how you can trust your Life Weaver though because he heals you and stuff like that. I feel like you can really trust his Life Weaver. Right. This is where it kind of goes a little bit array, okay? You have to think to yourself, there is a health pack, which obviously, you know, the one you were talking about. He can get that, and also he can, like, regen himself a lot quicker now because of the shields and everything like that. So you can essentially just stay with your Echo here. And you can just help work down this Winston bubble and stuff. Because what's going to happen is, because this Life Weaver's got his dash, he can dash away and stuff like that. Winston then will essentially have to re-jump to try and get to him. This gives you a great opportunity to just sit here with your Echo, because then obviously the Winston turns around to you. You can then, you know, use your use your movement abilities away, say to the Life Weaver, if he then goes to go and challenge you. Alright? So what I would have done here is let's just stayed where you were, because then you end up doing like this little like GA that you don't need to, and then it feels like sort of like panic mode, like, oh my gosh, panic, right? Literally just play back here, play back like literally here, like how you were doing, and just let your Life Weaver live. If then the Winston like goes to go and attack your attack your Life Weaver, then you go and peel for him. But because it's like that full HP and stuff like that, you just sit back with your Echo. Now, you end up getting dove and stuff like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, right? Calm yourself. Think to yourself, how am I going to get myself away from this damage? Well, you need to create distance from the Winston. Winston's one of those heroes that cannot, well, he could do bits of damage, obviously, but the like zappy cannon thing. I don't know what the name of it is, but you know when he like charges it up and it's not like, what's it called? It's not like it's like normal, like, what? I don't know what it's called. But anyways, you essentially just want to move away from him. It's the same with like a Reinhardt. It's the same with like any kind of close range hero. You want to create that space. How can you create that space? You essentially just walk away from him, or like walk away from your Echo. Try to make as much distance as you can, and then just GA yourself up and away. Like as far away as you can. Doesn't matter if you're away from the team fight because everyone's really, really healthy right now. So you just have to kind of work on your own kind of survivability. Back yourself away. What happens? Oh, he's come jumping for me. That's fine. I'll just GA away and GA yourself like all the way back away again. You just want to basically create as much distance as you can from that Winston and really make him work to come and like attack you basically. But we'll keep him going. So we end up dying, which is unfortunate. I can definitely tell what you mean, by the way, already with your Echo not really doing too much. Because it feels like your Echo is playing quite passively, it feels like. Normally, with like Echoes, I like it when they're being like really, really like, aggressive and like up in people's faces and stuff. That's exactly what your Genji's doing, but not really so much your Echo. But it's getting back. Love how you put out your pistol as well. It's one of the things I always forget. Or just in case you get spawn camped by people. I don't mind you rotating out like that because obviously you knew the Echo was being, the Widow was being attacked. Runas heals. Lovely damage boost. Love how you're using this cover. This is really, really nice. Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. I don't know if you meant to do this, but if you did, really, really great. Moving your head hitbox down and away from what's it called? From the hit scans. Beautiful. Really, like, I say it to so many people, and you're the first person that I've seen in probably like all the VODs I have done, apart from I think one top 500 VOD that I did. You are the first person I have seen use it. Thank you. That like so good. It really helps. Sorry, I'll keep on going now. Anyways, oh, are we lagging a bit here? Hello? Hold on. I don't know if this is me or whether this is you. Let me quickly rewind it. Put me in the league. I mean, you got the World Cup skin already to go with it. But anyways, so obviously the rotation. Beautiful. All right. So what is happening here? Okay, yeah, I feel as though this. I feel as though this is your internet. That is fine. Okay, you lagging here is completely fine. Obviously, not even with myself. You've done the absolute right thing though with playing the cover and just standing here up, like waiting for the lag spike to end. The lag happens to me a lot as well because my internet is just absolutely horrendous. So you've done the absolute right thing and waiting for that. Really nice recovery though as soon as it's finished. Use the platform. Very nice. The only way you could have made that better is literally just what's it called? Stand on the platform and res. Would have been better here because you'll know obviously the hit scans have like backed off and stuff like that because of that pressure you've just applied with the echo. So you now know that the hit scan's going to be like way far away, like, you know, they're not going to be there to like help you and stuff like that. So you can actually just res on top of the platform here because it blocks any kind of the Winston damage from, you know, it basically blocks the Winston from trying to like dive you as such while you're doing this res. But apart from that, really great. And yeah, really good how you played as safe as possible as well when that lag was happening. Because I said that in one of my most like recent videos and stuff as well. So obviously nice heals with the Genji. Echo ends up popping, like falling. You don't have res, that's absolutely fine. Nice damage with the Genji. End up damage boosted. Oh, okay. We end up getting ourselves in a little bit of a bad scenario because we've gone to go and damage boost the what's it called? The Sigma, which is completely fine, you know, you going in to do it, but try to like not fling yourself out into the open just because, oh my gosh, I need to damage boost this, right? Try to think to yourself, how can I help this person whilst also keeping myself alive? Be selfish as well, right? Remember, you don't, it's like not a necessity that you need to go and damage boost this. Like, oh, it's really good if you damage boost this, like, do not get me wrong, like, it's great if you do damage boost this, but put your own safety first, right? So what you can do instead here is you were kind of like back here when you're like with the Genji and stuff like that. Just GA and cancel and just keep your beam on and use the beam linger and just play like, what's it called? Play around this cover because then it'll allow you to play behind that cover away from obviously all these hit scans and stuff. Now I think this Hanzo kind of like lunges into you probably, in which case you've used that GA cancel, which basically means you still have that GA available, which basically means now you can then just GA yourself back and around here if you need to. Alright, I don't know if you die here. Oh no, lovely life grip. Nice. I'd Valk here. The reason why I'd Valk here is because your team is still like being really aggressive and you could definitely still win this team fight. And also your Genji is going to go Blade in a second. So I'm hoping you can like go and help follow up on that with your Valk. Dragon's Head are happening, which is completely fine. Nice Valk. Just still remember your cover, really nice. Lovely. Just, oh, okay. I was about to say, still remember your cover. Just skip the Valk. I mean, I can kind of understand why. Do not get me wrong. Okay, let me just quickly rewind it because I want to show you like what kind of cover you could have used. It's so important, especially on this Junkertown map. You use your cover. So this is really great. Awesome cover around here. We Valk, which is completely fine. Hooking that tower, so obviously you block out LOS, which is fine. Dropping down here, really great. Okay. Same thing again, you could just GA and cancel and just play here with the blade. Like, you don't need to be, what's it called? You do not need to be, like, completely just, like, out or, like, up in the air and stuff when you use your Valk. Just, you know, still play the floors and stuff like that. So you can literally just GA and cancel there. Because what ends up happening is, like, you kind of, like, sort of like, hey, guys, it's like a life weaver here and all this kind of stuff, right? When you're actually not looking out for yourself and your own kind of, like, movement first, and it's, you know, you end up getting picked off by this Widow. I feel as though it's kind of a key thing at the moment. I feel as though you're putting others first before yourself. And in a game of Overwatch, specifically when you're playing Mercy and they have a lot of like dive heroes like that, you have to be, what's it called? You have to put yourself first before others. Alright? But we'll keep going. They are far now, which is going to be a little bit hard, especially if your Echo isn't going to be doing as much. So it is going to help your thingy, which is fine. You can res. Hold on, make sure you have res up. I'm pretty sure you have res up. Yeah, you can res here. The reason why you can res here is because everyone is really focused on, like for example, your Winston's very focused on these guys. Lifeweaver can help with like the Genji and stuff by just healing him like this. So you can literally just get away with just resing like right here. Get your Echo back up, and as soon as that res is gone, you can then GA like back around to go and help with these guys. But we keep going. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's exactly what you just do here. I feel like we should have done it a little bit sooner though. There. End up getting naded and stuff like that. We should have done it a little bit sooner. But apart from that, your team end just getting like rolled, which is really unfortunate. Now I'm hoping you're gonna switch to a hit scan. Because that'd be really good if you switched onto a hit scan on the most open map against a Pharah. Well, your team don't do that, so it's fine. We just have to make do with what we've got. It's obviously nice, obviously damage boosting Genji. Really nice, obviously damage boosting like deflex and stuff like that. I would literally just keep playing in this kind of cover. Unless you're getting focused from like around here, you are really, really safe where you are. Because you like GAing like round like past this coverage, just put yourself out into like, you know, random danger that you don't need to. But yeah. Push run is very fun against Pharah. I mean, yeah, I can imagine. Especially because, you know, nobody's played a hit scan, but it's fine. So obviously this is fine. He's using his primal, let him waste that primal. Primal in the tank. Really nice. Make sure you go in and go help your Genji though. Nice. I love how much like GA cancelling you're using. Like, this is really, really nice. Obviously damage using Genji, which is like obviously completely fine because we know he's doing more. Really nice cover here. A really nice like, well, it's called jiggle peeking. She has sights, we just need to be careful. Nice heals, right? As soon as the Sigma's full HP, just go back in to go and help someone else, alright? So like, this is fine, obviously you playing like your cover stuff, especially because you know this Widow has sights and everything like that. So like, as soon as the Sigma's like half HP, let your Lifeweaver deal with it, or like just go and like help someone else basically. We'll keep going. We used ult, which is completely fine. Healing up, which is nice. Whenever you just quickly flip that damage boost onto your sticky bombs here, because this would have killed the Pharah. Like, your Echo is now focusing this Pharah, because even though like I wouldn't say Echo is like a direct counter to Pharah, Echo is still really good against a Pharah. So like, as soon as you see this Echo use her stickies, stay with her and let her help finish off this what's called this Pharah right here, and then you can go and like peel for your Genji and stuff who's been dove by the Winston. Okay. Did up healing, which is fine. Really nice. Damage boost onto Genji again. Obviously playing your cover because you're, you know, scared of the oh, okay. Nice cover usage though. Like, you recovered it really well. Lovely, nice damage boost. Really nice. Okay, whenever you see a Genji dash, try to GA with him. Okay? Because it's kind of, I'm making a TikTok at the moment, right, about how to play with Pharahs and Echoes, and I feel as though with Genji you could kind of apply some very similar things, right? Because what happens when you pocket a Pharah, right, what you normally do is you allow the Pharah to use like her jump jets or like concussive blast, whatever she uses, to get herself up into the air, and you wait until just as soon as you're getting to that max GA range to be able to GA and follow her. It's very much the same with a Genji, except on the ground. The reason is because what's going to happen is the Genji obviously needs to be up close to do damage, so he has to dash in. What you can do is, as soon as you see him dash, you GA with him, but then you can just direction it onto this high ground here to keep yourself like separate, but also in cover away from this enemy team. And this, one of the really kind of like hardships with like playing with Genji is like it's really risky for you to like obviously like play with him and stuff like that. It's really, really like risky to be able to do. And you need to be like really confident with like your movement and also like your map knowledge to be able to do it, which I feel as though you have. Like, you have the movement 100%. Very nice, obviously playing with this Genji. Really nice, like just jam yourself out into the what's called closure. You do not need to go back and heal here. You can literally just stay being aggressive. Let your Lifeweaver heal this up, because your Lifeweaver needs his ultimate. Because sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. No, I'm looking at the right team. Sorry. Your Lifeweaver does have ultimate. Allow him to heal at the Sigma to get his ultimate as you have yours, and just push forward. Allow yourself to get this this honor and stuff, so push up with like your Echo and stuff, damage boost this, and then obviously I think the Lifeweaver is probably gonna like leave, so you know that's absolutely fine. But you literally just need to push up here and just like help get her out. Obviously that's fine with the Genji because he got antied. Nice heals. I'm back out now. Very nice. Really, really great. Lovely hold in here. This is completely fine. That is fine. As soon as you see Echo like being pulled in like this, with obviously like the Hulk hook and stuff like that, just know she's dead. Like you just have to look at her and think, you are stupid. And just like play for your own life, okay? Like literally, just kind of think about yourself over this. Just look at her and think, you're a bit stupid, aren't you? Like, you know, just like play it over there. So just get yourself backwards, play for your own life, and just like, you know, like kind of put yourself first again. Nice damage boost though. We don't need to GA ourselves forward there because we're going to GA ourselves into the fog, so we just want to keep walking backwards. Really nice though. GA. Okay, let's back this up because I feel as though we could have actually got away with just not using the Valk here. I only really like to use Valks with Genji if I desperately have to use it, okay? So, that's fine. We end up obviously like cancelling the GA, which is obviously best case scenario, okay? This mini GA, you do not need to use this, okay? This is like, you do not need to, because what's going to happen is, you know, this team's going to push in. If you GA yourself forward like this, it makes you more vulnerable to the Hulk hook. So you essentially just want to keep yourself in beam range, which is what you can do by just backing off to like here, okay? Well then, so then, just keep on going, okay? As soon as you see this Genji dash up, which is now, you now want to GA. I wanted to try and play high ground with the Valk, but messed up the GA. Well, I feel as though you could have just completely avoided using the Valk altogether by doing this. Which is literally just, as soon as you see this Genji like dash up like this, you GA, right? What's going to happen is this Genji's going to start dashing about into this back line. You can just stand up here and look really, really pretty and just put your blue beam on and just be like, hey, look at me, I'm popping up with the team fight kind of thing. You can literally just stand up here and just blue beam. Now, obviously, if things start to get a little bit dire in like the scenario, like say your Genji isn't doing anything with the blade, or like maybe it's like getting a little bit messed up, then you could pop your Valk and try and help your team out. But you can literally just follow up on this blade by literally just like standing and just playing here and just damage boosting. Be like, hey, like not every single Valk, like a lot of people like, obviously, like, Nano and Valk go really, really well together. Same with, like, damage boost and Valk. Sorry, not damage, damage boost and Blade. But a lot of people think, oh, I have to pop Valk to help with the Blade. It's only if the Blade is going to be really, really far away and it's not going to be within cover for you, alright? With this Blade, because you're in this cover, you need to use it. It's 100% different if you're playing on, like, first point, like over here, for example, right? Where, say if you're playing up on this high ground and your Genji dashes into like the absolute complete middle of nowhere and like, hey, I'm gonna play like this, right? In that case, you probably want to use your Valk and then obviously use the extended beams to play your safety and stuff like that. But in this kind of scenario, you can definitely just stand up on that high ground. But we end up popping the Valk, which is completely fine. Nice, obviously, you know, like using your high grounds. Really nice. Nice. Really nice. Nice. Still a really good Valk, to be fair though. Like still a really, really good Valk. Like obviously using the high grounds to like play that cover, like you rectified that really, really nicely. So it's all good. Really nice damage boost onto the Genji. Okay, yeah, that's another one of them scenarios where you just have to think, you're a bit of an idiot, and just go out, right? If this Genji. Let me just quickly rewind it because I want to show you what this Genji does and why you should just not go after him whatsoever, right? So this is fine. This is really good damage boost here. Obviously, like, trying to help this Genji finish up all the kills and stuff like that, which is really, really great, right? You then damage boost him right at this beginning bit while he dashes through and stuff, which is really, really great. Okay, awesome. Right, he then gets antied and decides, I'm going to dash into 3 people. Okay? You now have to stand here and think, is this a smart decision for my Genji? Yes or no? And you just have to kind of, if you think to yourself, someone's been antied and then dashes into 3 people, they're probably 80% going to die. Okay? So you just have to abandon them and just think, is what it is. Like, you can still obviously play, like, on the just in case he's gonna get out, right? In which case you can literally just, like, kind of walk yourself back to here. And then if he gets that dash out and has managed to get out, then you can put that beam onto him. But I would say in this scenario, you are not going to save him. Like, my friend, I am so sorry. Like, he is dead. Like, he dashed in on anti. That is not your fault. In which case you just need to peel back and just, like, play back with your team. Which I'm hoping you're gonna do. Obviously, it's nice that your Sigma end up providing the shield for you. You end up like going backwards now, which is completely fine. Damage boosting the Echo Ult, which is really, really great. Nice. Love where you're positioned right now. This is really, really nice. You don't need to do a GA here. You can literally just play here because you know they have this Winston. So you just want to basically kind of, what's it called? Wait for him to die before you use that GA. So just literally just, what's it called? Just play down here. Keep going. Whenever Junkrat uses Tire, by the way, you can't damage boost it. I don't know whether that was you, kind of just, obviously, always, you know, it's like an ult and stuff like that. As soon as Junkrat pops his Tire, you can't really do anything about it apart from try and heal him. But what normally happens is if he does it out in, like, the open and stuff, then he's just gonna die because he's, like, stood still with, like, 200 HP. So, of course, he's just gonna die and stuff. So whenever I see a Junkrat Tire, I very much just, like, leave him alone. I'm just like, let him do his thing, you know, and just, like, go and, like, damage boost your Sigma. So yeah, so I would literally just like be stunned and just like damage boost your Sigma and just like allow him to create this pressure and, you know, just like leave your Junkrat, like do whatever. We're gonna kind of rotate him back because I feel so you get a little bit scared of the Sojourn, which is completely fine. Ooh, okay. We don't need to go in here, okay? Because what's gonna happen is, you know, like you didn't end up like kind of killing anyone with the Echo Ult or anything like that. So you know that you can't essentially, like, you know, this whole team is going to start pushing it, especially because it's getting to the last team fight and stuff like that. So as soon as you can, just try and back out, okay? You have this amazing character called Lifeweaver on your team, right? And he can, like, obviously, like, pull people back and stuff like that. You know this. He can, like, pull people back, you know. So allow him to pull back. The only reason why I would say this is a good reason for you to come in is if he didn't have that pull life grip. But what happens, especially because you're playing like Mercy Lifeweaver, you have to kind of in your head think to yourself, okay, when is he use life grip? This happened very recently in one of my YouTube games. I had a Lifeweaver on Hollywood with me, and he ended up using his pull on, I think it was my Widow on like second point, but then my D.Va was very in there and, you know, needed the help. In that case, I needed to kind of like slingshot myself forward to go and help. Okay, but if your Lifeweaver has his life grip, let him use that first to allow him to come back to point, okay? If you wanted to do this, by the way, you should have just done like a big like slingshot backwards to do it, because I feel so you end up doing like a cancel GA, don't you? Hold on, let me quickly rewind it. Because I feel so you end up doing like a cancel GA, I would have literally just done a full like massive slingshot GA just to get yourself back and like away. So let me see, so damage boosting, which is completely fine. In that scenario, I would just hug, like, you know, with your Sigma, but it's absolutely fine. They end up, like, peeling back and stuff. Yeah, you end up doing, like, a cancel GA in front of the cart, right? Just allow yourself to kind of fully, like, or at least, like, halfway do this, like, GA, and then just slingshot yourself backwards if you end up going in to go and help him. So end up, obviously, in a little bit of, like, a pickle. As soon as he's full HP, go and help your Genji. Really nice. You could just go up onto Highground, by the way, to go and help this Genji. Like, it would be so much safer for you if you, like, as soon as, like, you got back and the tree goes up and everything like that, if you just did, like, a vertical super jump using the crouch to get up onto this high ground, you can then just play this high ground so safely and just, like, stand up here with your damage boost and just allow the Genji just to, what's it called, do his thing. It reminds me of, like, you know when, like, you see those, like, videos on, like, Twitter and stuff like that where it's like, oh my gosh, Mercy gameplay, and it's just one person just stood there with the blue beam on. You could honestly just do that and just, like, just stand up on this high ground and stuff and just, you know, like, allow your Genji just to go in and just absolutely rip through the team and stuff like that, because it saves you from being really close to this, like, what's it called, Junkrat and stuff like that. Nice, obviously, damage boost. Okay, we don't need to drop, though. Like, there's no need for you to drop here. Just keep that high ground. So you can help your Genji from back where you were. Like, I feel as though you're forgetting a lot about these high grounds and stuff. The high grounds are, like, your best friend right now. Really nice. Really nice that you managed to catch back up onto him. Same thing again, you can just play up on the high ground. I'm gonna get our pistol out. I would literally just help with our Genji. Okay. From this whole team fight, there is this high ground. And you could just stand up on here. Like, there has been absolutely no reason why you should have dropped at any of this point. Okay? Because I think there's been like 2-3 times now where you've dropped and put yourself at risk to like nearly dying to people for no reason, okay? You can literally just play up on here. And until you get pressured out by someone, like pressured out by like a ball or pressured out by the Junkrat that might, you know, dive up onto you, you keep this high ground. You are the absolute queen of this high ground. You can stay there, you know? Like literally just what's it called? Kept panic GAing. Literally just calm yourself again. Think to yourself, okay, am I being pressured? No. So do I need to rotate? No. Unless if your team or, you know, like wanted to really like back off like from the fight and stuff like that, you can just stand up here and just allow yourself to like play with play with the Genji. Put your own life yourself again, put your life, you know, value your life more than your Genji and just stay up here. Keep your beam on him. Oh, my beam's disconnected for a second. That's fine. It'll just connect back on in a second, you know? You can literally just stand up on here and just play on this high ground. Okay? We'll keep going. Obviously, end up peeling back, which is fine. Damage boosting Genji, which is really, really great. Playing away from the slam, which is really nice. Can't help the Genji there, which is completely fine. Lovely positioning with your Echo. Ooh, okay. Nice contest. Nice. Just stand up on the platform there if you want to. Like, allow that to help you. Really nice GA. Okay, with this, what's called? This is a nice GA up here, do not get me wrong. But you end up kind of taking a little bit of damage here that could have maybe been like a Sojourn shot if she had it, right? Literally, if you end up kind of getting disconnected from this Echo because she flies, like, over, like, this direction, right? You can literally just play the cover, wait until you know she's going to be in your LOS to GA, and then GA, just so you can play that cover even more than what you have been doing, alright? Valk, very nice. You go in contest because it gets pulled off, really nice. Damage booster, nice. Nice, damage boost, really, really nice. I love how you're contesting, this is really, really great. This fight is so like, what's it called? This is how I want you to play. Right? This is how I wanted you to play on the other bridge. Think to yourself, okay, like the floor is lava. Like with this, like, you know, it's basically what it is like with these hammer mines and stuff like that. You just have to think to yourself, I do not want to touch this payload unless anyone else like cannot touch this. You did the absolute right thing of going in with your Valk and helping contest this. This is really, really great, okay? As soon as your Valk ended, you went up to this high ground. Then you realized, oh, well, the mines are on the ground, right? This is perfect. You should have literally just done this on that other high ground over there. Just stayed up on here because, oh no, like the mines are gonna get me. Think like that earlier on. Like you should have basically just valued your life and just played up. Echo ends up getting caught out, which is completely fine. Nice rotation. Go on, get your Glock out. Go on. Okay. Nice. Really nice. I love how you put your Glock away as soon as you hit that. What's called? Same thing with the high ground. Ooh. You see how you end up taking damage from the slam? You could literally just stay up here. Again, like there was no need for you to drop here. Keep going. Really nice. You see how you could do all this by just standing up on that high ground? You'd be so much more safer. Oh, that's such a good time, man. Nice contesting again. Lovely life grip. Really nice contesting here, because obviously this is kind of like your job to contest, and I feel as though this is sadly where you end. Oh man, I feel as though like you do end up kind of surviving a little bit more here, so I maybe try to look for like a way out, but it feels like your Bastion and your Life Weaver are just like, yeah, we're done kind of thing, right? This is just really unfortunate that Ty gets 2. That is just really, really unfortunate though. Really thought I was going to win against that ball with that movement. I mean, like, he's full HP now, so you're not going to, but like, throughout this entire time, I feel as though, like, this part was a lot better than over here. Like, this was a lot more, what's it called? This was a lot more cleaner, right? Because you were literally like really great with just like using these high grounds, playing up on these high grounds and stuff like that. There were a few times where you did drop, like for example when you dropped here and the ball slammed you, right? You could literally just stay up on these high grounds, right? You did the absolute right thing of putting yourself first and like playing like up on here. This was really, really great. You should have just done that a little bit earlier on, okay? It's just really, really unfortunate that I feel as though your life weaver very much just what's it called, like, started backing out. We went out of the corner, I just went to die on point. Yeah, honestly, which is 100% the complete, like, right thing to do. But then after you survive for, like, a second, think to yourself, hey, are we actually going to win this? I mean, obviously you don't end up doing it, but, like, you know. But it's just really, really unfortunate that, you know, and I feel as though you just end up losing that fight. That is so unfortunate you end up losing all that. Because I feel as though, like, you survived really, really well for that entire time. Alright. But we'll keep going. Obviously, we'll have to, like, try and get our Sigma and our Genji back so we don't end up staggering. They've nanoed Life Weaver. Okay. Nice. Okay, as soon as you realize your Sigma's being pulled, by the way, because he's basically like kind of like immortal when he gets pulled and stuff like that. Allow him to get pulled and just play up with your Genji and just keep damage boosting him here. We'll keep going. I'm gonna go up with my oh, we got a Pharah now. Okay, that's fine. Love how you play this high grounds. Really, really nice. You know your Genji has Blade, by the way, so just wait. Yep. This is another scenario where you don't need to pop your Valk to follow Blade. Because we've done this like twice now where we pop Valk just to follow the Blade. You can literally just, what's it called? You could just stand up on this high ground again and just damage boost this Blade. If you do end up obviously getting pressured and you still want to follow this Blade, like for example, this Junkrat decides, I'm going to come up to you kind of thing, then you can like pop your Valks and stuff like that. But at the moment you could very much just stay on that high ground. That's how you're following it through though. Really nice. Come on. Come on, you got it. You got it, I believe. No! Okay. We need to work on that pistol aim a tiny little bit more. Ooh, okay. I don't know, like, whether you would be able to help him here. Let's quickly back this out, alright? I want to talk about this again in a sec. So, this is completely fine. You really committed with this Blade. This is completely fine. You're helping out here. Nice movement and stuff like that. Obviously helping your Genji. Okay, as soon as your Genji doesn't have anyone to shoot at, you essentially want to try and like back off to your team, okay? You end up going to Glock this Life Weaver, which is completely fine because he's, you know, very much like by himself and stuff and he's quite weak. You don't end up, what's it called? You don't end up getting the kill on him, which is a little bit unfortunate. But you have to think to yourself, my Genji will want to commit here and be like, you know, go and help like try and kill him. So as soon as he like dashes away and you think to yourself, I'm gonna get this kill with my pistol, put the blue beam on your Genji and what's gonna happen is he'll dash forward to try and get him. Now, I think he ends up dashing into the mines. I want to play it in this view just to see. Yeah, he dashes into the mines, which is really unfortunate, but you know, you can't really do anything about that. But I would have committed with him a little bit more than what you did. So end up backing out, which is fine. Going to go be with your Pharah, which is completely fine. She's being trapped. Pull the heals to try and help her. Just because you're playing against this Sojourn, by the way, just be careful for like a railgun shot. So whenever you're like GAing yourself out, like how you did, instead of GAing to kind of here, GA to here. Just so you're like really out of that LOS, because if she hits a railgun, like a charged railgun shot on you and you die, this is going to be your overtime over because you've already lost the support. Like you essentially just want to stay up as long as you can. But we'll keep going. Obviously nice heals. Really nice using your GA to try and go and help. Remember with Sigma ult, you can only be like damage boost the lift up and also any of the rocks in. You can't damage boost the lift down. So if you do end up like missing it, don't worry about going in to go and get it. It was a nice damage boost though, like that one, because obviously you end up getting all the rocks and stuff. Really nice. Or spheres, whatever they are. I don't know what they're called. Like the mini rocks. Nice damage boost obviously at the end. See, trying to help with Life Weaver. Nice. Damage using Genji to try and finish him off. Really, really nice. And I feel so you should end up winning this. Yeah, nice. Okay. So, overall, Bobby, okay. I actually really like your positioning, okay, for the majority of the time. I'll say about the majority of the time, right? When you're out of a team fight, your position is really, really good, okay? It's when you get into a team fight, it seems like you panic a bit and you're like, oh my gosh, like, where should I go kind of thing, right? What is that noise? Sorry, I've got a really like weird noise in my headset. So yeah, so while you're when you're out of a team fight, your positioning is really, really great, okay? It's when you're in a team fight, you seem to kind of just worry a bit and you think, oh my gosh, like whatever shall I do kind of thing, you know, you end up getting like a little bit scared. what you should do, take a breather, take a step back, and just be really patient with your movement, and just try to make your movement as fluid as possible, right? If you get disconnected from your beam target for like a second or two, doesn't really matter, okay? Reses from the ones that I saw were really good. You just needed to, the first one on first point when you res the echo, you should have done it a little bit sooner, but apart from that, really, really great, okay? Valks have been okay. The reason is because I feel as though your Valks, we could use them at different, like, they were good use of, like, timings, but I feel as though instead of using it to help with the blade, you could actually use it at different points, because you could, like, pocket the two blades that happened. You could have done that by helping on the high ground instead, by standing up on it, instead of, like, using your Valk to help with it. And my only other piece of advice to you right now is to play your life so much more. Like, put yourself forward, or like put yourself first a lot more, and think about your own survivability and your own positioning before going to actually go and help other people. Because there have been certain times where you go in to go and help someone and you don't need to, and it ends up like either get yourself really, really weak, and you know, like, you're putting, like, it feels like you're trying to help people when you know, like, they're gonna die and stuff like that, or like you're trying to help people when you should really put yourself first. All right, so just put yourself first. And I was gonna, oh, and just try and use those high grounds more. Like, if you're not being pressured off the high ground and you are safe, play where you are. And that kind of comes to you being, like, selfish with your movement, right? Just if you're safe on a high ground and nobody's pressuring you, stay up on that high ground, because what's gonna happen is either your team is just gonna survive for like absolute ages, or like, you know, like, they'll have to, if they want to try and kill your team, they'll have to come and pressure you, which basically means that it'll draw them away from the point and draw them up to you, in which case you could just GA away and play, like, back with your team and stuff like that. But it then gives your, like, team a break and stuff like that, and it also, like, maybe could deny them and stuff like that. So literally, you just want to play that high ground some more. Alright, but we'll keep it going. We have switched now, so we have a Junkrat, so obviously Genji is going to be main blue beam target. You can still obviously damage his Junkrats and stuff like that, but with this being a very open map, it's going to be really hard to. Whenever you see a Pharah, by the way, like, literally just, like, wait and spawn. Lovely chain though into cover. This is like what I mean by your positioning is really, really great. Okay. I feel as though here, we don't need to stay with our Sigma as much as we did, okay? It's fine you're doing this J here and helping heal him up, but try to think to yourself, what is our main purpose in this team comp? Our main purpose is to damage this Genji, okay? So as soon as he's, like, quite healthy, just do that GA and allow yourself to be with the Genji. So then when your Genji goes to dash in like this, you can kind of follow up and kind of, like, stand on this kind of high ground here. Keep going. So obviously he ends up, like, getting basically just annihilated by the Spara. Genji's not the best pick in Spara, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Nice damage on Sigma. Lovely GA away. Your life move as well is really, really great. Obviously, like, damage boost, sorry, healing you and stuff, really, really nice. We GA up away, which is completely fine. Junkrat ends up falling, which is fine. Love the GA out into the cover again, really nice. Just try to stay with your Genji a little bit more. Like, I feel as though you're not trusting your Life Weaver, when what I've seen with your Life Weaver is really, really great. So just, like, put your trust in him and trust him to, you know, help your tank and stuff like that, and just really try to full focus on damage to this Genji if you know your second DPS isn't really putting in the shift, okay? So really nice damage boost, obviously playing your cover again, really nice. You know, again, life grips is completely fine. Really nice damage boost here. Really nice playing up with him. Really nice. You could just stay up where you were. Like, I feel as though this is a very unnecessary GA when you could just stay where you were. Which is fine. Nice healing. But you see, if you just stayed up here and just healed up your Sigma where you were, because currently you're not being pressured, although you can just come back to you, then you can help him some more, and you're already, like, pre-ready to help this Genji up here, okay? Bit of GA into him, which is completely fine. Nice getting onto this high ground to go and help. So just stay up onto that high ground because you're not being pressured. Nice. Ooh, okay. I feel as though this all comes from you kind of panicking and dropping, okay? What happens is you are completely safe on this high ground, okay? And until the Pharah tries to pressure you, or until, like, the Junkrat tries to come onto you, you just stay where you are. This was a nice GA round, but what you could do is you can just drop down here if you want to. Give yourself a second for obviously your J to refresh, and then try and, like, J yourself round to, like, these health packs and stuff like that. But it feels like you'll probably just end up like falling on this, which is what you end up doing. A little bit fortunate, but it's all good. We'll keep going. So just waiting to respawn, which is completely fine. We really have our Valk. We needed to put our beam on Life Weaver there instead of Sigma, but apart from that, all fine. That's helping our Genji. We need to be there a little bit sooner though with the Genji, because once again, Sigma's fine. Ooh, okay. I want to make sure this isn't a habit of yours. I don't know whether you did this because of this, but I just want a quick kind of tip with grabs. If a Zarya grabs, the majority of the time, your team are not going to survive the grab. Obviously, this happens this time. But what normally happens is whenever Zarya grabs people, it's going to focus the damage onto all those people. And normally, the majority of the time, your Valk healing is not going to out-heal whatever damage is going to go into it, okay? So if that happens, like, just don't Valk it and just, like, play safe. If it ends up happening where towards the end of the grab and people are still alive, then by all means, go and use your Valk and stuff like that, because you can then go and turn the fight. This is kind of one of them scenarios where you don't want to Valk yet. Wait until the end of the Valk, which is, the end of the grab, which is now, and then you can, like, Valk it if you want to. Alright? Really nice, though, using your Valk, obviously. At that point, because you're in your Valk, by the way, just GA fully in. Like, really, like, be aggressive with your Genji right now, because he's got his blade as well. Be really aggressive with him. Nice damage boost, though. Really nice use of cover here. Ooh, okay, the Tyrants are getting you, which is fair enough, because obviously you're trying to rotate back, which is all good, all fine. We'll just reset and go again. We have ourselves a blade, so obviously we're going to look to try and go in and damage boost this blade. I'm going to see how well you're going to do, because I don't think I've seen you help a blade yet without what's it called, without your Valk. So obviously helping your Sigma, which is completely fine. Your other DPS, by the way, just seems really, really lost. I'm going to be very, very honest, because they're just not picking the correct characters, but it's fine. So obviously helping Genji, sorry, helping our Sigma here, which is completely fine. Helping with the flux, which is completely fine. Nice. Blade. It just feels like you're very, like, I don't know how to it feels like you're very out of sync with your Genji, because you're too busy being very focused on helping the rest of your team, right? You have to think to yourself, okay, my other DPS is doing nothing. Zilch. That's fine. Let them do whatever they want, okay? You now need to basically fully commit with your Genji. You are spending a lot of time playing with your Sigma when you don't need to, because your Life Weaver has the Sigma. Your Life Weaver can essentially help with the Sigma. And all you really need to be doing is either be fully committing with this Genji or appealing for your Life Weaver. Because it's happened now where it's like a few times on this attack where the Genji has dashed and you're not ready to be with him, okay? You essentially, as soon as you hear that Genji dash or see that Genji dash, you want to be GAing in with him and helping him. So it's fine, we're going peel for Life Weaver now, which is completely fine. Damage resistance sim, which is all good. Nice heals on Life Weaver. Really nice peel for Life Weaver. You did the right thing there. They switched to cast now, which is like, hallelujah, we have a hit scan, which is really, really great. Nice try to keep your cast alive in this. Obviously you don't end up doing, which is completely fine. Nice. I would not, maybe just do a cancel GA up here rather than doing the slingshot one, because you kind of slingshot yourself forward is A, bring yourself into this LOS of everyone, but also B, increasing your GA time. So just do a cancelled one here. I'll keep going. Really nice rotation. Love how you're helping your Sigma here. When he does his rock, try to damage boost the rock just to try and get that extra damage, especially because he's still quite healthy now. Obviously, if he was still like really critical, then heal him up. But because you're helping like heal him up at this very moment of time, flick the damage boost on for the rock and then continue to heal him. Just get that extra damage in. With Valk, obviously it's getting really like, you know, close to us losing and stuff. Nice. Ooh, really like bad barrage. Bruce. I'm going to C9 in. Okay, Bobby. If you're sat here and you're blaming yourself for this loss, do not. Because you played extremely well. You probably played the best out of your team. You and your Genji and your Lifeweaver. It's mainly your other DPS that's really let you down, okay? You've done the absolute right thing. Realising your Echo isn't doing what they're meant to be doing and going in to go help the Genji. Really great, okay? That's already really good, like a really good mindset for future matches when you climb and stuff like that. 100%, you've already got that really good mindset already, and I really applaud you for that, okay? Really like how you're taking all your tips with like movement that I've given you, with obviously tilting your head away when you're Jane across like really long pieces of cover. Really nice, okay? Positioning, okay? Your positioning for the majority of the time is really, really great. Like, especially when you're out of a team fight, it's really good. You're playing out, you're playing back away, you're playing where you're meant to be doing, which is really, really great. It's when you get into those stressful scenarios, it's like something that's like, oh my gosh, panic, 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 right? Relax yourself. Think to yourself, okay, how can I logically get myself out of this scenario? If it's obviously with the Winston that happened earlier, we create that space. If it's, like in those stressful overtimes, we just keep playing our high grounds, okay? Really, really like great, okay? Like with positioning generally, okay? Reses, we didn't do many reses, but the majority that we did were really, really great, okay? Valks, I didn't really get a chance to see a lot of your Valks because your Valks were basically just to help the blades the majority of the time, which I would try to steer away from doing because, Bobby, you have the movement. You have the movement to keep up with those blades completely without your Valk. Like, you just have to basically be really logical with yourself and think, where can I cancel my GA? Where can I help this blade from really helpfully? Which is using those high grounds and just using your positioning. Because you have the position and you have the movement, okay? Just have that confidence with following in with that blade. And have that confidence for when you see that Genji dash, you go in with him, okay? So that's it with the Valks. And my final thing is to be really selfish with how you play, okay? Because there has been so many times where you just drop for no reason or like you move when you don't need to. If you are safe, you stay where you are, right? And this happened like a lot with like the high grounds, with like the overtime and stuff like that, okay? You dropped so many, I think about 3 times when you were completely fine on the high ground. If you are not being contested on the high ground and you are safe, be in your happy little safe spot and think, yeah, I'm happy, I'm completely fine. And unless if like, the only reason why you should move from that high ground is A, if your team back off, or B, if you end up getting pressured. But apart from that, Bobby, honestly, do not. If you are blaming yourself for that loss, do not, because you played it exceptionally well, okay? You should be like plat diamond already with that movement. Really, really great, okay? And just, trust your life with a little bit more, because he was really, really great, okay? Just push that damage just a little bit more. But apart from that, Bobby, really, really great VOD, honestly. As well, if you have any more questions, please do ask me. But thank you so much to everyone on Twitch as well as on YouTube who have been watching this. Once again, you can get your own VOD views. They offer £5 channel points. I do them on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too of my own gameplay. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!